Welcome back to the channel. As you saw in the title, it's not just the Magna anymore. So, Magna, new battery, charging. We're gonna swap that in. We're gonna check out this switch over here, I think. A couple other things up in the front. But then this thing too now, battery went to 2 volts. Battery's under there. So it doesn't start. I've never had that started. And then that thing over there also I've never had started. So nothing starts. Today though, the Magna, new battery. We're going to look at this switch. We're going to talk about a couple other things. Hopefully it'll fire up. And then we'll talk about the last couple of things we're going to do to it before we put it back on the road. But thanks for being here. And let's get to it. I want to look inside the ignition switch. Looking at the wiring diagram and a couple other things. That seems like a good place to start. As you might recall from last time, if you didn't watch that video, go back to the last video I posted where we were just talking about the Magna not starting, but now it's everybody. But it was as if we weren't getting 12 volts everywhere. I had 12 volts at this battery, but my thought is this battery now is approaching 3 or 4 years old. I'd have to find the date on it to give you a more precise answer to that. Okay, let's see if there's anything. Oh. Okay, well that looks a little suspect. I don't know if we'll be able, let me see if I can show you a little bit. So as I was thinking, I was wondering if the run switch was a little compromised. Maybe hard to show, but that one side of the wire is looking a little suspect. Let me see if I can pull this up. Sorry, get you guys back. See if I can pull this assembly. So I'm gonna want this most of the way off. Here's that one. Oh, sorry guys, I keep bonking my microphone around on you. Should be able to now. There's 2 screws going up to the kill switch, holding in those terminals. Very small. Don't lose it. Oh, my wire retainer guy's flopping around on me. Don't lose him. Okay, so sorry. Before I pop them out, kill switch housing. Said 2 screws. It's probably not going to focus. That within there, these 2 connectors are housed in here. I'm just pulling them out. I don't know how well it's focusing for you guys. I apologize, but this right hand side Looks a little compromised. Both sides are not the greatest, so I'm hoping part of my issue is that I'm also going to look down into that starter switch and maybe just clean it up a little too with just some electronics cleaner. Just make sure that whole circuit is good and passing electricity the way it should be. Same thing, I'm going to try to get on into that actual run off switch. I think I could just probably pop off the top looking at it. It's my guess, but I'll let you guys know. Clean in there. And we're gonna go from there. Button just pops out when it's in the run position and you've already unscrewed everything. There's a little E-clip down in there. I think we can pop that off. Just try not to lose it. As always the game. A little dirty, not too bad to be fair, but let's clean that up. Take your E-clip after you put it all back together. They're skeeters already. Might have to close the garage door. 2 days of warm weather and rain and they just pop out of everywhere. Great. Switch fix. Oh, the key might help. We're just gonna see if what I just did helped. I just kind of threw the headlight on there. Okay. Still don't hear a fuel pump. I still don't have a headlight. Something helped. Well, it starts. Fuel pump just seems to be running. It's so dewy in here that it's just steaming everywhere. Our float's working. If the fuel pump is still running, or I wonder. Might still want choke. The fuel valve has to be on. Who knew? Gotta get quick reel. Smells like dust and steam. Oh, didn't like that. Trying to see it starting to come up the temp a little bit, which it's doing. Seems to get charged. I gave it a little bit of idle speed. You can tell it's a little bit smoky in here. It's just kind of, we seem to clear up condensation. We got fresh gas in it. Nothing seems to be leaking out the bottom. We just have a little condensation of something there. Water out of the exhaust, I'm assuming. Old speaker sitting on the back. She starts. All right, I'm gonna turn her off and then we'll talk a little bit about more of the next couple things we need to do. She was a little smoky. Smells a little rich. Or I'm just not used to bikes with no catalytic converter anymore. So, that was nice. I don't know if it was just the battery or getting in there and messing with that kill switch. So as you saw, the wires to the kill switch just seemed a little crusty. They seemed like they needed a little bit of help. Cleaned out all the starter switch, cleaned out the run switch, and I got a new battery. And as you saw, I mean, the thing fired right off. Obviously, at first, I didn't have my fuel off. So now that that works, I'm going to actually start using it just to make sure that it doesn't leak. That's what it used to do, is if I started turning it back and forth, it would leak. So that was nice. And you got to see a mole being a dummy moment. Yeah, she started to come up to temps. I didn't want to let it just sit here and idle. So what we need to talk about, though, is a couple other things I'm going to do before we go for that first ride. So I actually have a set of old V45 Sabre master cylinders coming. Looking at these ones again and just messing with them. This one just weeps brake fluid out of it. You can find just a little bit of a pool of it every time you come to it. The clutch one has always kind of felt a little crusty. I might just take these apart and rebuild them and just have them as a backup set for a different bike, or just on the shelf. But I do have a set on the way. I might have to just replace the seals quick on those and throw those on. I'm going to feel much more confident in something that was made by Honda rather than necessarily something I bought on eBay. That's my fault. I thought I could get away with buying something that was a little cheaper. Not even really cheaper, just new but made outside of the US especially, and get away with it. And I didn't. Or I'm just not going to get away with it. So I found a cheap set on eBay, and we're going to replace those quick. Rebleed the front brakes, rebleed the clutch system, make sure that's good to go. And then the Magna should be good for a ride. So we're going to get that set up here hopefully in the next week. We'll do that maybe this coming weekend, and I'll feel much better and safer. But we got to just test out the front forks on this thing, and then figure out what we're doing with it. So thanks for being here. If you're still watching, you should probably subscribe. I don't think I've said that this video yet, but we got some things coming. So I'm trying to figure out my plans with the Magna, whether it's sticking around or I'm going to try to sell it. It might be up for sale, and if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and we're going to do things with it anyway. So the 650 might be around for a minute. The V-Strom will definitely be around. We're taking that down to Kentucky, and then we'll figure out what we're doing with that 1000 Suzuki over there. Guys got any ideas? Like, give me an idea. I don't know. Let's find a lawnmower and swap the engine into it or something. Like something stupid even. So let me know what you want to see. But I'm going to leave that video to the Magna started, and we're on to the next step. And motorcycle season's upon us, boys. Thanks for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the links down below. If you have any questions about things I've bought for the Magna and whatnot, they're usually down there. And hope you guys have a great day. Love you, and we'll see you next time.